Awesome. I am very honored to introduce Dr. Rulin Shu, who was born in communist China, studied science there, and then came to the United States, where she graduated from the University of Berkeley with a PhD in quantum physics. She's the co-founder of the Soul Mind Body Science System, and she has been instrumental in working and co-authoring the grand unification theory, which proves and validates the merging of science with spirituality. She's also a singer, an herbalist, and an amazing healer, as well as a grandmaster in Tao calligraphy. And she's also the co-leader of the Tao Center Portland. She's made an enormous difference in my effectiveness as a healer. And I referred a person to her that I've known for years, a social worker, who I had been out of touch with for about 2 years. And when I saw this person, I was horrified. She was sunken into herself. She looked gray. She was palsied, and she had a diagnosis of brain cancer. And so I worked with her and then heard to refer her to Dr. Rulin. And I've kept up with her in contact. Saw her today. She's radiant. The palsy has almost vanished, still there, but she has such joy with discovering the gifts in her challenges. And that's, I know, due to Dr. Rulin's generosity and her love. So I'm honored to introduce her to you. And Dr. Rulin, it's all yours from here.
Thank you so much, Eliel and Dottie and everyone for inviting me here and to share about my journey and also what I discovered, what we have discovered. So so Dottie said, I should maybe tell you about my story. And so I grew up in China. And when I grew up, I was quite talented doing the science. And so I was in the college about maybe second year was the first year. I suddenly was inspired to, I read a book and inspired me to find the grand unified theory. So grand unified theory is to use one mathematical formula to describe everything. So this is like a holy grail in the modern physics. Einstein worked very hard for many years trying to find this grand unified theory, and many hundreds of worked really hard to find this grand unified theory. So me too. After I graduated from college, I come to UC Berkeley, got my PhD in the grand unification theory, and also study string theory. String theory right now is one of the most advanced theory, trying to best candidate right now for the grand unification theory. But at that time, when I was getting my PhD, and then I went to Harvard and also went to Houston Advanced Research Center, continue my research as a postdoctor. But when I was doing the research, I was very frustrated. I feel like I couldn't find this theory, and also I wasn't happy with the current science or the other scientists they are working on. I don't see any hope for them also find the grand unification theory. So what I did, I end up completely give up in physics, and in fact start a business. And then also I set up a factory in China, Hawaii, and I moved to Hawaii, lived in a beautiful home right next to the ocean, and so in Hawaii I started to have my spiritual awakening, and so I went to. So my spiritual awakening actually attended one spiritual gathering. In the gathering, I suddenly realized, I just feel this love It's all over. And I feel the whole universe is loving me. And then I felt this presence, which now I can say is divine. And all this love, the whole universe is loving me, and this divine presence of divine is giving me, and this divine, and all this love is from divine. And divine have so much love, actually beyond my comprehension, beyond I can really feel or grasp, right? And the divine has this amazing love and want me to experience it, and they want to give to me. And in this love, there's unlimited abundance, unlimited wisdom, unlimited of everything. And the divine want me to experience it. And I remember at that moment, I suddenly felt this love. And I was crying the rest of the night. And then my friend, I went there with my friend, this gathering. My friend, they come to me, said, what are you doing? Why you cry? And I was like, just let me cry. I was just sitting there, just let me cry. I was just like sitting there crying the whole night. Touched by the love. And that completely changed my life. I remember the next day I jumped out of my bed. I said, wow, this universe is made of love. Everything in my life is divine want to love me, and want to give me all these amazing things. So there's nothing for me to worry about, just thinking about enjoying this love. So I jumped out of my bed and I was just like, just like look at everything as a love, And I look at everything about this life is really about love. I just need to enjoy love. And I end up not going to work. Then I have my business. I had a factory, and I did not go to work, and I just like enjoy myself. So that started my new life. I basically stopped working just to enjoy my life, enjoying love. And so I often, most time I don't go to work. But what happened is really amazing. My business became extremely successful. So I'm working, I don't go to work, but my business become extremely successful. And also my personal life at that time, and it was just like, people just drawn to me, everybody wanted to be with me, and it was just beautiful. We have amazing times, parties, my home, hundreds of people come, at the ocean, we dancing, singing. And so my life become a miracle. I think of things will happen. Things will happen. And in fact, I was so good at manifesting things, including, I remember the widest thing is so I had everything, and I bought a mountain, right? And I bought a beautiful place for my factory, and I had a beautiful place by the ocean, and people usually don't refer me as me, and they refer me as a place lived by that place, because that place was so special, so beautiful. And also one day I thought I want to have I said, I like to swim in a waterfall. So I said, I want to have my own waterfall. That's the time I was in. And as soon as I had that thought, I got a phone call. My friend invited me to have a hike. And he invited me to hike at this place, have 7 waterfalls. He owned this land, 100 acres, have 7 waterfalls. And so we were swimming in the waterfalls. They have, waterfall coming in, there's a big pool. You can swim there, and it's so magical. By the way, if you're under the waterfall, it helps you to open up your spiritual channel and your third eye. Maybe that's why at that time, I just loved to swim under the waterfall, But anyway, my friend, swim there, and then my friend told me, Rulin, I want to give this place to you. So that was how magical my life at that moment. So I think of things will just happen. And in fact, I was so good at it, manifesting. I realized this is not something I want. What I need to do, I realized, I have all this land. I couldn't even take care of my own home. And my home is like more than 3 acres by the ocean. We have hundreds of coconut trees. And I realized I could not even take care of my home. what to do with all this land? And I just realized, what is the point to even owning anything? Since I'm so loved, supported, and protected, right? I realized to have the owning things physically is really not the point. And actually, I'm starting to really actually pursue the spiritual development. And so in this pursuit, I get to know some kahunas and some American shamans. And one of my my friend, she's a kahuna. One day she told she really, she invited me to tea with her, and then she spent 4 hours talking about this healer called the Doctor and Master Zhigang Sha. And so she talked 4 hours nonstop about him, and also urged me to go to, and it turned out he's going to play into our neighborhood and give a workshop. So I went to his one-day workshop. So Master Sha is famous for his soul healing. So he heals people's soul, and then people's cancer, people's death, and blindness, or parasite, or paralyzed, or cancer will be miraculously healed. He offers soul healing without touching you, without, some people don't, without even talking to you. Some people, they receive his healing without him knowing it. And so in this one-day workshop, he demonstrated his healing, and he's passionate about healing. Wherever he goes, he's offering people healings. So I was like, wow, I never heard of things like this before. I never, if I was not witnessing it, at that moment, I would not believe it, right? But I was there, and he was already doing this amazing healings. I was like, wow, amazing. And also I was very, very impressed by his wisdom, and also his devotion, dedication to help humanity, to help others to live happier, healthier, and more enlightened. That is devotion. And he dedicated his life for that purpose. So I was very, very touched, and so become really starting to study from him. And then when I studied from him, I get a lot of healings from him. If you have been with him, you get a lot of healings. So I got a lot of healings from him. In one of his workshops, I go to a lot of his workshops. In one of the workshops, I was sitting there. I was, as a physicist, right? Although at that time I completely stopped doing physics, and I was sitting there thinking, oftentimes I was just, I cannot help to think about how can I use, physics to explain the soul healing. What is the soul, by the way? He often talk about the soul is a light being. I often think about, okay, soul is a light being, but what, can we actually really understand this light being, or for quantum physicists, we want to use actually mathematical formula to calculate, be able, if we really think we understand something, then we should mathematical formula to calculate the soul, right? So one day I was sitting on his workshop, I suddenly had this aha moment. Oh, wow. Yeah, the soul is not out of reach as we think. Actually can be calculated. In fact, the whole quantum physics is about the soul. Mm-hmm. And actually the quantum physics, all the mathematical formulas help us to calculate the soul. Mm. So I had that aha moment. So I told Master Sha about this insight, and I really see very clearly how the quantum physics, the whole formula, in quantum physics, everything is a vibrational field, right? And you look at everything and you find at the deepest level, everything is a vibrational field. And the vibration is basically like waves, ocean waves, they oscillate up and down periodically, and so there are all kinds of different waves. Some wave, very tall. Some waves move, oscillate very fast, right? And some, travel very fast, right? So there's all kind of waves out there in nature. And so quantum physics actually is basically the science about calculate what kind of waves inside you, right? Physics basically says if I know I can calculate the waves inside you, and then I know everything about you. So this is basically quantum physics, right? And so what I realized, what Master Sha is doing, the soul, is actually just is part of this wave, right? Master Sha, light being, light is a wave, right? It's a vibration. So basically, a vibration being, right? And so it's quantum physics. But then we also have some deeper insight. What we find out is everything is made of three things, right? So vibration carries three things. One is the matter. So matter is something we can measure, something we can see, we can hear, something we can touch, we can, or measure with our equipment, right? Something we can experience. So it is this physical world we experience every day. So if we think of physical world, we experience is physical, so that's completely correct. But then there's something more than physical. Right? So second thing that's made of everything is energy. So we are all familiar with the energy, right? So energy, what is energy? Energy is what moves and changes the matter, right? So we need the energy to move our car, the gas to move the car, right? And then we need the heat to change the water into steam. So energy is what changes and moves the matter. So if we want to change our life, right, our life, we need energy. So that is why we all want more energy, right? So this is also, everybody understand this. But discovered is there's third thing that's made up everything. So most people understand matter, energy, but they don't understand the third one. So what is the third one that everything is made of? So anybody knows the answer?
Consciousness.
No, Ali, you are, I cannot, you are faking, you are cheating, you already know it. I want to be here.
Well, you asked, so I had to say I know, but I wasn't
maybe
going
Dottie, you want to make a guess?
Is it consciousness? Spirituality, spirit.
I would say
Yeah.
consciousness.
So, but in scientific language, yeah. So in scientific language, the third thing that's made up everything is the information. So information is what informs, right? It gives the information. So informs. So information can be, basically, it's basically give an answer to some questions, right? So that is why information can be expressed as yes or no, 0 and 1, right, as a computer. So information is what gives the form and shape to energy and matter. It informs and then gives shape and form to the matter and energy. So information determines energy and matter. Just think about your bank account, right? That information about your bank account determines how much money you can get out of the bank. If I can change the information, or if you can change the information in your bank account, or some, maybe those less computer hackers, right, can change that information for you. Next day you can, maybe you can get more money out of it, right? That's, basically that's the ultimate dream of the computer hackers. So that is also worry of the, governments and the banks. So the information is the key. And so our vibrational field in quantum physics telling us is actually carries these three things: matter, energy, and also information. All three things, in principle, we can calculate them. So information, and so what we discover is that information is related, is related to the consciousness. So what we discover that the spirit or soul is basically the content of the information. So information determines every aspect of our life, right? Determines energy and matter. Information determines your experience of your life. So, and the content of the information is the soul and the spirit. So that is why the spirit and soul is the essence of our life. It determines every aspect of our life. And also, when we transition, our physical body stop functioning, but the information is still there. That is why when we, physically stop functioning, our heart stop beating, maybe brain stop working, but the information is still there. That is why our soul, when physical stop working or die, physical death, but our spirit, our soul, still carry on. So our soul can be internal, although our physical life can be limited. And also our soul carries a lot of information. Our soul is magnificent. It has its own journey and it has its own purpose. So usually if our life is not doing well, it's because our soul are not happy with you. Our soul is not happy which direction you are taking and with what you are doing. The soul is more powerful. And because the soul has a lot more knowledge and it has a grander picture, right? What you come to this life for. And this life is actually determined by the soul. The soul, so if you don't listen to your soul, if you lose contact with your soul, and you will find your life don't have much purpose. In fact, if your physical life does not really serve your soul, and your soul could choose to live, and then your body, then you're going to really, your life come to the end, you're going to die. So basically, the death is the soul leave the body. Stop giving instructions to the body. Is that I had enough of you. I'm leaving. That's our physical death. So the soul is basically information, the content of information in our field. This field, our field could be extends over all universe. We have all kinds of amazing, vibrations. But many of us were not aware of it. We still live in this limited body. Yeah, and so spiritual practice is really trying to connect with your soul, and also go to your higher self, your true self. So that we will talk more about that. And so the second part about the information is the receiver of the information. So we need a receiver of information, right? So it's like a radio, right? You need an antenna to receive the information from the radio station, and then you are able to hear the program, right? So we find that our spiritual heart, there's a spiritual heart. So, if you read the Bible we're talking about the heart, and I think the Bible has some saying that, above all, to guard your heart, because that's where it's all come from. And also Buddha has a similar wisdom. It says everything's coming from the heart. Because what happens is the heart, spiritual. So in the Bible and also the Buddha's book, they talk about spiritual heart. The physical heart, physical heart is something different. So there's spiritual heart and the physical heart. Spiritual heart, it's the fourth chakra, right? That's a spiritual heart. Spiritual heart is the receiver of the information. So the heart is very important. When your heart can receive that information, then then the physical reality can be manifested. So if you don't receive the information from your soul, then you cannot manifest what your soul wants you to do. So it's very important for you to open your heart and develop your heart to receive from the soul. So this is about, and then you can also do the spiritual communication, communicate with your soul, even communicate with the divine. So that is all about opening our heart. And so this is some of the training we also do it at our center, Tao Center, Portland. And also the soul healing. So the soul healing is really about change the content of your information in your soul, so that, because if you get sick, it's because your soul, there's some negative information in your soul. And also your heart is receiving the negative information. So so the soul healing is, heal your negative information in your soul, and also heal your heart so that your heart can focus on receiving positive information. Then your sicknesses, difficulties, challenges in your relationships and finances, and all of this can be healed. So this is what soul healing are doing. This is what we do at Tao Center, Portland. And then what we find is that the processor of the information, the consciousness and the mind, is only the processor of the information. So information has three parts: content of information, receiver of the information, processor of the information. So content information is the soul and spirit, receiver of information, the spiritual heart, and processor of information is the mind or consciousness. So this is our definition. So Master Sha and I, we wrote a couple books. So one is Soul, Mind, and Body Science System. Another one is Tao Science. Yeah. So in Tao Science, we developed this Soul, Mind, and Body mind system in a much deeper way, and so that we have 4 laws, and the first law is about everything is made of 3 things: matter, energy, and information. And information is the one really determines everything, and also this law teaches us the spirit is basically the content of the information. So it is something, since quantum physics can study and measure the information, and even calculate the information, the spirit and the heart and mind can all be studied mathematically, scientifically. So it is through this insight we can bring the science and spirituality together. We can use quantum physics to study the consciousness, study the mind, study the heart, and study the spirit. We can also even study the divine and the source. And literally in Tao Science actually, if you have this deep understanding, you realize quantum physics actually teaches us there is a source. And everything is coming from a source. And this source has an infinite information, energy, and matter. When we connect with the source, and it also, the source has the most positive information energy. So in Tao Science, we also discover what is the positive information. So we can mathematically define what is positive information. So we often talk about, what's positive. So you have intuitive understanding what is positive information. But in Tao science, we can mathematically define what is a positive information. Positive information is basically the connection. If something connected, then they have positive information between them. And the divine is the emptiness, the vacuum. Vacuum is or the source is actually, everything is coming from the vacuum. And in quantum physics, vacuum is not really empty. Inside, actually, if you do the calculation, you literally can see in the vacuum, there's infinite information, energy, and matter available. And also vacuum, the emptiness is within everyone, everything. It's connected with everyone, everything. So that is why the divine, the source, has the most positive information, because it's connected with everyone, everything. Everyone, everything is coming from there. And so the healing is basically is transform the negative information in our soul, in our heart, and also in the mind, and as well as in our energy, in our matter, in our body, transform it into positive information. So that is why the soul healing can do over the distance, because our vibrational field, extends over all space and time, and our information is carried by our vibrational field. So that is why I can give you soul healing, or we call it Tao healing, anywhere. If you're, I can even do it without you knowing it, and as long as I got your permission or the family's members' permission to give you a healing. So a lot of people, a lot of time, the family requests healing for their beloved ones. Some of them maybe even cannot speak, and actually, I saw Joy just had a COVID. Recently, I helped one beloved one. Her husband actually stopped breathing for many days, not many, maybe for a few weeks, maybe a week or something, because of COVID. And so he could die any moment. So he asked me to do some healing. So after the healing, I think after 2 healing, he was able to breathe next day, and then out of the hospital within less than a week. So our, this is this is what I do every day. It's really profession for us, and it really works. I see it where we help to save so many people's lives, and and also made many people's life more successful, happier, healthier, more successful, more fulfilling. We help people with their marriages and with anything you can think about. So because it's determined by the information, right? And so as long as I can help to change your information, then I can help people to heal any part of life. So now, we at the Tao Center, we teach people how you can heal yourself, through this kind of soul healing. We also train healers, and also we offer healings as well as a professional healer. So anyway, so I think this is a moment if you have any questions, you can ask. And later I will have you experience some of our healings, and so everybody can experience it.
So if anybody has a question, you could just press the little down under the reactions. You could raise your hand there, or you can just raise your hand and ask a question. Milt?
Yeah, Dr. Sue, thank you so much. I only know a little bit about quantum physics, but I believe in the implicate order, and I believe that there are certain cultures that intuit the implicate order and live their lives by that notion of physics. And I'm reading a book called The End of Alzheimer's, the first program to prevent and reverse the cognitive decline of dementia. And in it, the Dr. Bredesen, who is the author, shows that there's a strand in the brain. He labels it APP, and that people with Alzheimer's, that strand is can be broken in 4 different places, all of which create whatever it is that clogs the brain up, so Alzheimer's gets worse. But he says there's another place that the strand can be cut where good things happen. And I'm wondering if out of that, if scientists and so on have developed any kind of theory about how memory is created as a quantum, and I'm thinking of quantum entanglement, that separation happens, and then those two pieces are forever related. And if you know anything about whether or not that type of work has been done to reverse Alzheimer's. And I'm also concerned, I talked to a native friend of mine and asked him if dementia and Alzheimer's were prevalent in his culture, and he said, no, not like in our culture at all. And I'm wondering if, and I'm just kind of making this up now, if because in our culture we live with an incredible cognitive dissonance about life. I mean, we think our whole science in the West is based on Newtonian physics rather than quantum physics, and don't really understand the quantum reality that we live in. If that type of cognitive dissonance could cause a natural reaction where that strand would be cut in such a way that nature is protecting us by having Alzheimer's, it could be viewed positively. So anyway, those are a bunch of questions that I have reading this book, and I'm sort of wondering what your thoughts are about that.
Yeah, that's a very good question. First question I think you have is about about the memory, how the memory is created, right? That's a very good question. So that one is the memory is created by our action. Yeah. So our action, we breathe, right? We speak and we hear, and also we doing things and we interact with others. All this action creates vibrations, right? Creates vibrations. And this vibrations is entangled. The vibration we spread out is in quantum entangled with us. Mm-hmm. So if the vibration created is through our action coming out, and then somebody else receive this vibration, right? They receive this vibration, and this vibration make them, they receive your vibration through your action, and they feel happy and they feel joyful, and then that quantum state is also going to, through the quantum entanglement, is also going to appear in your field, right? And then if you receive, if you turn on your heart, right, receive those vibrations, and you're going to feel happy. All of us, right, we have experience. Sometimes we just suddenly feel happy, right? Or suddenly we just feel angry, we feel depressed. Why is that? Because we did something, we made others happier, or we made others angry. So that is how memory is created. And so what we are doing to others, what we were doing, how what we are doing affecting others is also coming back to us. So yes. The quantum entanglement. Mm-hmm. So the memory is through our action. So this is kind of a cause effect. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this cause effect can be delayed, because our action, after we did it, some people might receive our vibration maybe 2 days later, or sometimes it may be 1 year or 10 years, or some people could be 1,000 years later. right? You know, it's like Lao Tzu's book, right? The ancient book. Now we read it and we feel happy and we feel enlightened. And so those people, they write those books, right? And they're going to get benefits 1,000 years later, get some happiness, right? But the soul still exists. So the soul, you know, soul can experience all of this. So this is how the memory works. Yeah. So in the memory, it's not just your memory, it's what you have done made others feel. So this is kind of like a karma.
Right.
Yeah, similar to the so this is so in Tao science we can explain the law of karma using the quantum physics and showing you, you know, how what we are doing, how we're infecting others is determines our life, yeah, our life experience. If we make other happy, healthier, and then we're going to have experience happy, healthiness, you know, and or success. And but this effect can be delayed. You know, it depends on how soon other people receive, you know, your vibration, and how soon you receive others' vibration too. You know, it could be, you know, others that they feel happy, but you know, but you don't want to feel anything, right? And so you don't, you know, you kind of close up. You don't want to feel anything. So you could maybe experience that, you know, what you have created much later too. So also this can be inherited because our you know, our descendants, their vibration can be quantum entangled with us. So what we have done could affect them as well.
And how about the reverse of that then? That if we live with this cognitive dissonance or whatever it is, do you think that there would be a natural response for something like Alzheimer's and dementia to increase in a culture?
Yeah. So we could, you know, reverse this effect. So this is the soul healing is about to, and also self-healing is about. So we're going to teach you how to do that, you can release some of those negative informations. You know, the negative quantum entanglement maybe you have,
Right.
you know, and change them into positive.
Right.
And that's how the healing works.
So I'm sorry to hog all this. I don't want to take all the time, but one last question then. There could be a cultural norm that keeps the culture from getting Alzheimer's or dementia. And my question is, do you think that's related to the language that they speak? Does the language you speak awaken the quantum knowing?
Yeah, that could be, that could, you know, could be many reasons, you know, it could be their tradition, you know, and they're more connected with others and more connected with themselves. Basically, the positive information is about your connection. You know, you can connect with yourself and also connect with others and connect with your soul, connect with your heart, with your mind and your body, right? And so this is also what we teach in our center is how to connect with yourself, connect with others. And so if some culture, they just naturally more connected with themselves, you know, and with their mind, with their soul, with their heart. And then they have less negative information in that regard and less likely to become sick.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful, good question. Yeah.
Janae?
Milt, language is vibration, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Language is
Okay.
very important. Yes.
Yeah. That was the first thing I thought of when you mentioned language. Anyway, I want to give you a name, first of all, and then I'll go ahead with what we're working on right now. But there is a quantum physicist named Nassim Haramein. Do you know him?
Yes,
Okay.
I know him.
Are you aware that he has solved that equation?
Yeah, I know him very well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he lives in Hawaii.
Yes. We have met.
Okay. Great. All right. Just wanted to know.
Yeah.
To make sure that you had that connection.
Yes.
Now let me see, get back to this. maybe what I should do right now is just say thank you so much for what you're presenting here. I started 23 years ago on a whole new paradigm shift, really. And I trained to do healing work and distance and all different. I have a whole bag of tools, all different kinds of things. But so I'm really interested in the healing that you're doing, which is cutting edge healing. And the Tao healing, the book, the book be a good thing to have to explain all of this as a start, maybe.
Mhm.
I've been reading, I have just been reading for the last couple of weeks, especially ever since I took the Forbidden Science class, I've been reading, but especially in the last couple of weeks and today, all of this stuff, the frequencies and everything. Is there a, I woke a couple of mornings ago with the information coming in that I needed to do research on passion, for one thing, just passion, the thing, what we feel, which of course is joy and all those kinds of things, but when we feel it really strongly, as in working in our soul's purpose. And I'm wanting to know, is there anything that, any place that I can find frequencies, like a frequency chart for different emotions or things like that?
Yeah, frequency chart. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's, I think one, although it's very controversial, I think it's called David, I forgot his name, he talking about the scales of, yeah. I'm not too familiar with it. I just read a little bit here and there, and some people, they really studied him, yeah. So and honestly, I don't know. But from our point of view, yeah. So I'm glad you're studying the passion, studying about the feelings, right? Because that is basically our heart, right? Our heart, the passion is our heart, and be able to feel. So you feel the great passion. That is the most powerful tool for manifestation.
Yeah,
manifest something, your heart really need to feel it, right? So the more strongly you can feel, the more strongly, the more quicker you can manifest, and you can really manifest. If you cannot feel it, you cannot really manifest. Because from Tao Science point of view, because you are able to receive that information, right? And then you can manifest. Yeah, David Hawking. Yes, thank you, Eileen.
Oh yes, I just saw it. Power versus
yeah, I think he has some chart, but I think but it's controversial among scientists whether that is scientific or not. So I cannot make much comments on that. But I know his method. The method is controversial. So. Yeah, but so far, how to do it scientifically, I think, yeah, that be maybe takes more research for it.
Okay, the focus is on power versus force, but okay. I was just reading today that the frequency of passion, and I don't even remember where I read it. I have it somewhere, not in front of me. But the vibrational frequency of it is low. I was thinking it would be high, the more conscious and the more aware, all that kind of thing. I was thinking of being a higher frequency, but this said that it was a low meaning solid, really, not meaning low on a scale of 1 to 10, low being, the least amount, or 10 being the highest, or whatever, but low meaning that it was a stronger vibration, I guess. I don't know. I've forgotten the words that they used to describe it. But
so Janae, do you have a question?
Well, I was wanting to know about that.
about the vibration of passion.
Mm-hmm. Or just, I guess,
It depends on what kind of passion, right?
yeah, you mentioned, well,
Yeah,
feelings.
if that passion for helping others or the passion, for you to get wealthy, that's completely different passion, right?
Yes. No, I mean
The
something,
vibration is completely different there.
no, I mean
So you have to
something
really
within,
specify.
something within your soul purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
still
something,
that's completely different. It's like if your passion is helping yourself become, famous, or your passion is helping others become more enlightened, right? And be healthy and happier. That's completely different vibration. So
that's
you
true.
specify.
But
Yeah.
wouldn't passion within a soul purpose, wouldn't that be something for,
But the soul purpose could be some people's soul is, like I said, soul can be very sick. In fact, we get a physical sickness
okay,
because our soul are sick.
okay,
Yeah.
that's a
So we
good
come here to
point.
evolve our soul, to release the soul sicknesses, to expand our soul, to go back to the source.
Mhm.
I don't want to
Okay, thank
interrupt,
you.
but I would say
That's okay.
that if you go on her website,
Uh-huh.
if you Google the Dr. Shaw Tao Center in Portland, they have some great
Oh,
little videos that explain the Tao science.
okay.
Sheila, did you have a question?
That's important. I'll just put
Gonna be
the,
Dottie.
Pardon? Yes, I called on you.
Are you letting me talk, Dottie?
Yes,
Sheila.
yes,
Okay, good. Wasn't sure.
yes, I called on you, yes.
Teacher.
Yeah,
Or moderator.
yeah, talk.
No. So I have a question because of you have some experience with indigenous cultures and shamans, etc. You talked about, and I'm a MD, family physician, who has about 20 years of experience with shamanic healing, etc. So I was wondering about soul retrieval. To me, it seems like when I study the ancestral ways of healing, they were far ahead in applying the physics to healing. And we're just getting around to discovering how physics and quantum physics relates to healing modalities, etc. But I was wondering about your thoughts about soul retrieval, because in indigenous cultures, of course, they don't really separate out the physical and the mental and the emotional and the spiritual. It's all one. And the soul is very essential. Like you're saying, if there's something wrong with you, need to fix the soul first. And many times the soul has left the body, or as parts of it have, or it's not in harmony.
yeah.
So just maybe your thoughts on soul retrieval and
Yeah.
mixing that with the quantum physics, what you think about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, I have also did some soul retrievals. Before I met Master Sha, I got to know some healers. They can do that, so I can experience it. And so soul retrieval. So basically, our soul, so a lot of us, we have negative things, maybe negative feelings or concepts about ourselves, and we don't want to go inside our own body or our own heart, and then the others, and the soul, and then soul will leave you. If our soul completely leave our body, we will be dead. Right. And so there's some masters, but they already get a high level, and so the soul left their body and they go somewhere else to travel, and then they come back to their body, right? And even in Chinese history, there's some famous master, so they are already immortals, so completely, and so their soul will leave, and then people don't know, they're not dead, or they are, actually this one is this. So this master tell his disciple, he said, I'm going to do the soul travel, and just trying to keep my body safe, right? And then this, but then and then if I don't come back or something, and then and then so this disciple, so for many days this master did not come back, and also he has to leave, and he ended up burned the master's body. So the master coming back, and he cannot find his body, and then he find another person's body, get into their body. So there's a lot of that actually. But this master, of course, he finds somebody dead and he take their body, and then before he was a very handsome, master. Now he was like very ugly, and the one leg is gone, but they're enlightened beings, so it doesn't really matter to them. And but for a lot of people, your body left your soul left your body. Other soul can come into your body, and then some of those spirit actually not a good spirit, and that they take advantage of your body. And I have treated many people, even there's some soul come to their body to molest them, and so I help them to release it, and also teach them technique so that they can back. And so this is very common. A lot of our soul is not completely inside ourselves, and that can cause all kind of sicknesses, issues in our life.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is so I treated many people like that. Yeah, it's quite it's a big issue. And actually, Aliel is also in my class when we teach people really actually willing to go inside your body. We really, the native teaching is the soul, heart, mind, and the body should be one. That is the healthiest state. But most of us is not one. A lot of people, you don't like your body. You're trying to get out of your body. You're trying to think, a lot of people want to get out of, their consciousness want to get out of their body to go somewhere else. And that is actually, for normal people, it can be very dangerous. So, in our class, we teach you how actually really become one. And also, in that state, actually, is a lot of healing and like deep transformation can happen.
Sam, did you have a question or want to say something?
Yes, I have two questions. The first question relates to what you just said about some souls or spirits are negative. Does that mean that the information field or has both positive and negative? Because in some ways, when we talk about source, it's all about love and compassion.
Right.
There is no energy in it that is negative. That's my first question.
Yeah, definitely. So in our soul, of course, we have positive, we are alive, right? We have in a human form. So we must have a lot of goodness within us to become a human, right? Positive information. In fact, the life can exist because the positive information exists. And, but also we have some negative information. We have some disconnections. So negative information basically is disconnection. We are not complete. If you're not completely connected with ourselves, connect with Mother Earth, with each other, with heaven, with the source, all of that can cause negative information.
Okay, thank you. That explains a lot. My next question is, how does the formula or law or equation explains evolution? And my question is essentially that, are we becoming better antennas? Do we process more? How do we explain the technological revolution and everything that's happening all at the same time and accelerating? I'm a scientist, and equation is V equals IR doesn't change. There's no process element to it. So how does quantum physics describe this process of improvement? Call it evolution.
Yeah. So this evolution basically, it just shows that right now, we are in age. Our technology is really, growing exponentially to process the information. Yeah, but still, but right now, our challenge is our human heart has not up to receive information. We are so focused on use the mind to process the information, but our human heart has not really given enough attention to receive the information, to connect with each other, and even connecting with ourselves, to develop positive information. Right now, the science still focuses on negative information, which is entropy, which is disconnection. Entropy is basically disconnection. And it's science still don't actually, most scientists still, do not understand the positive information. Although there's more study now happen, about quantum entanglement, that is positive information, So this is a new research going on. And so we're really at the point of breakthrough and also revolution for human consciousness and human evolution. And so it's a tipping point to go to something much higher. And so it's right now it's a tipping point of a human evolution, a human awakening, and human enlightenment. But it takes all of us to put effort and to study this new way of life.
Okay. Did that answer your question, Sam?
Yes, perfect. I mean, that explains a lot. I grew up in a society, a very old society in Egypt, that says actually we have an angel on one side of our, on the say right side, and the devil on the other, and we need to know which information am I getting. Now, in the Western concept, there is no bad thought on this side. Be aware of it.
So I have a question. Where does DNA fit into this? Where does our DNA, what is its function in all of this?
Yeah, so DNA is part of the mechanics of our life, trying to keep the information right in a physical form, and so that they can pass on this information to help help the life to evolve. So this is part of the the life have developed this mechanism how to pass on the information. And so right now, they said they only understand 5% of the DNA. The other 95%, they don't know what it is, and partly because it's truly, we actually have a lot of information right now we don't recognize, and they actually controls our lives, and it's not, So so there's a lot to learn about the DNA, and also about every part of our bodies from a new point of view.
Thank you. Joné, did you have another question?
Yes. I remembered finally. You mentioned descendants in terms of the entanglement, the vibrational entanglement. What about our ancestors? Do we also have? Are we also affected by our ancestors?
Oh yeah, completely. So much affected. Yeah, and very affected. I think maybe about 50% of our information, maybe more. Right, depends on the each being. It's from our ancestors, so they affect our life so significantly. So
all right, I'm getting ready. One of the things I'm going to be writing is a book. I have a lineage that goes clear back to 99 AD. The Celtics, and a lot of things in between. And as I write that, my plan is to, in fact, I've already started part of it, is to go back to that time. And a little before that, I've actually gone a little bit later than that. I mean, back farther. And as I bring it forward, my intention is that I'm doing this for my children to pass on, but my intention is to heal as I come forward, to heal that. So I need to know how to do that entanglement. I knew that there was a way to do that, and it's because of all that entangled vibrational stuff that's
Yeah. Entanglement and nation, and they affect you significantly. And you could do some soul readings, or and getting more information about how they affect you. We can offer you karma readings and soul readings, and about your ancestors, or you can learn from us. We teach to do spiritual communication.
Do you do that in the Portland, in the place?
Yeah. So in our center, we offer those classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Part of our business. We do it daily. Yeah. So literally, so all the healing is about the information, and yeah.
That's a whole different perspective on what I've been taught. What I've been taught is really good. It's really worked. But I need to upgrade it. And that's what I've been doing lately, is trying to get upgraded in all this, because I've been away from it for a while. I wanted to ask you about Earthbound Spirits too. Is that something that is that a part of your Earthbound Spirits? Those souls that did not go to the light when they had a possibility, when they had the chance, for whatever reason, they stayed here. It's ghosts, spirits, things like that. Yeah. And they will attach. And when they attach to somebody, then of course there can be problems with that. And I hadn't thought about a soul actually coming in. Well, of course, though, it would work that way too. But anyway, it's two different things, right? Between a soul and an earthbound spirit. Okay.
What is your question?
Is that correct? That an earthbound spirit is different from an earthbound spirit attaching to somebody is different from a soul coming in to somebody.
So earthbound spirit is different from some soul coming into your body.
Is that right? Or is that earthbound spirit actually somebody's soul?
Yeah.
I guess it is.
No, everything is a soul. Actually, even so in our teaching is everything has a soul, because everything has information. And so even an atom, it have a soul. It's so it may be not as complicated as yours, right? It has lot more information, right? And but everything has a soul.
Okay, and then a walk-in would be, okay, it's all connected. Yeah, I learned it as separate things, which we tend to learn in the Western culture. Everything is separate from, and I'm having to think in a different way, because everything is really connected.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also they all can, it just depends on, they're all the same thing, but it just, who has what kind of information determines what kind of form they're in.
And what about the higher self? I read something that the higher self is your soul, but is it? Or is it a separate, a different?
Yeah, different.
Variety.
So we have our manifest soul, we call it Shishan, so which is basically manifest. So basically what your heart has received, that part that is functioning in this world. But also we have original soul. Original soul is the soul that's coming from the source. So when connected with the source, it has unlimited power, has unlimited potential, unlimited love.
Okay.
And what is that name?
So the heart. So if your heart is a negativity, and then you manifest the soul, and that's functioning, directing your life is maybe has limitations or has negativities. but we all coming from the source. That is our original soul. And so if you can connect with your original soul, then you can have higher powers and higher love and higher potential. Yeah. So that's part of the spiritual practice, is trying to connect with your original soul.
And that's through meditation or.
So Janae, can we let someone else ask a
Yes,
question for a minute?
yes, please do.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have a question?
I didn't hear the name because somebody else was talking in the background of the higher soul. I thought you gave it a name that was different, and I'm taking notes. Manifest soul, and then there was another name for the higher soul.
Yeah, we call it original soul.
Oh, original. Thank you.
Yeah, original. Yeah.
I find this utterly fascinating, and I'm so glad that you came to talk to us.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I'm still learning. Yeah, because it relates to our highest self, and something very important for us to learn.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else have a question?
I think Daniel.
I do, but actually I have a question before that question. You took a break to field questions from us, but did you have more that you wanted to talk about, or should we keep asking questions?
Later I'll be happy to share with you some healings. Yeah, and also, talking about grand unification theory. I just want to add, we actually did recently and published more than 18 papers about how to bring this grand unification theory to the world. And it's very, very beautiful research. So now I come back to physics again and doing a lot of amazing research, which I could not do before. Yeah, and it's very, very beautiful. Yeah, so I want to add, but later I'll be happy for all of you to experience some of these healings if you want. Yeah.
Did you have a question before she goes to the healing, Daniel? Or, I mean, that was a great question that you just asked.
Sure. I don't want to hijack what you have to say with our questions. Interesting though they are. Well, I'll preface this by I'm very struck by when you mention the heart and how important that is. In my own life, that is I'm doing a lot of heart growth and heart expansion, and I'm finding that the way that I hear people mentioning the word heart or referring to heart in society is not so much matching up with where I'm going. Like when we say heart, we may mean physical heart, a physical organ, or we may think of a heart chakra. Yeah. But for me, it seems beyond that. And I'm wondering if you could speak to that of how, when you say heart, could you expand on what that encompasses when you're saying that?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. It is a very important question, and it's important for humanity because we're so much away from spiritual heart. Physical heart is also right now. Actually, heart disease is the #1 silent killer of at least for most for a lot of countries. For US definitely, every day I think it's more than 5,000 people died of heart-related diseases. So this is a serious issue. So the physical heart sickness is #1 silent killer. That also shows our spiritual heart is really quite sick. Yeah, has issues, or we're not really using our spiritual heart at all. So the spiritual heart, basically, in Tao science, is because it receives of the information. So everything also has a spiritual heart because everything also receives the information, right, or radiating information. So from that point of view, everything has a spiritual heart. So normally we think this, first chakra is related to the spiritual heart, but really every part of us is receiving information. Our skin is receiving information, our head processes information, but also our lower abdomen, our whole body is actually can receive information and also radiate information. So so actually, so part of our training today, I teach the class with Eliel is also there. It's about how to activate our whole body and system to be able to receive receive from the source and love, to feel love, and then we'll be empowered to manifest, to heal, to do anything, and also be happy, So this is critical. So healing our heart also utilize our heart. If we cannot receive from the source, then we cannot create. We cannot heal. We cannot be enlightened. So training our heart to be able and utilize our whole heart, right? And to the love, to receive the vibrations and receive the wisdoms, receive the energies. It is critical. So a lot of people don't have energy, or a lot of people don't have, good ideas, or lack of passion in life. All of them is because the heart is very closed. Yeah. So, did I answer your question? Maybe I'm a little bit biased. Take on my own.
So why don't we go ahead and move into are you ready to do the healing
Yeah.
demonstration? Okay.
Yeah. So we have half an hour. Yeah. Don't want to make it too late for all of you.
Would everyone like that?
Yeah. So Daniel, I answer your question, you think?
Yes, though I feel like you could go on.
Come to my class. I would recommend you come to our class. Yeah, actually, we're going to really teach people. That's part of my my mission, actually. So I received another book. This book is completely received. It's not I'm writing it. I was wake up in the middle of night, 3:33 in the morning. And so I asked why I wake up, because after wake up every day for a few days at 3:33, and I was asking what is I wake up for, and as I heard the voice, it's like, get your pen and start to write. And so this is how this book come out. This is really about how to use your heart. This book is called Divine Love. Divine reveals how to receive divine love, abundance, wisdom, bliss, and beauty. And so this book is really about teach people how to use the heart to become infinitely, to become enlightened or infinitely successful, be able to have abundance or manifestations. So we're going to have another class, third level class, starting next month, I think March 19th, I believe. So if any of you interested, I highly recommend to learn. So that is part of another mission I have, is to spread, helping humanity to awaken to the power of their heart. And I realize a lot of people don't even know, they need to use their heart, and how to use their heart in the right way, and how to love. So that's just so one of our healing. So the whole healing is about, is about change. Remember, the sicknesses, difficulty, and challenges all because of negative information in our vibrate, right? Some of this negative information is coming from our ancestors, and it could come from, if I don't know, many of you, I think if you're here, probably you believe in the past lives. It's coming from our past lives, or coming from, when we grow up, somebody give us a negative information, or coming from our culture, have a negative information, our neighborhood, have certain negative information. It's just right to feed us with negative information. Some of them we are not even aware, but they're just somehow there, and they controls our lives. It's like a dark hand that controls our life, but we don't know why we are so suffered. And so the first part of the healing is to realize, okay, we have negative. So any challenge and difficulty is because of negative information. And so to heal anything in our life is basically very simple. Change the negative information into positive information. And so how to do that? The key is how to do that, right? And so we have many techniques and we train healers. One of our technique is the Tao calligraphy. Tao calligraphy. So Tao calligraphy is a transforming art. So this calligraphy is written with one stroke. Yeah, this one stroke. And so it is a oneness writing. And also because of Master Sha, his connection with the source, so this art is connected, help us to connect with the source. So Master Sha put his channel, his connection in this art. And so we can, and this connection with the source, radiate out the positive information energy and help us to remove the negative information within us. And so through this Tao calligraphy, so you can connect with Tao calligraphy, feel this vibration, and then this vibration carries positive information come to us and remove our blockages. So many amazing healing has happened because of this. And I remember actually this Master Sha only introduced this technique about less than maybe, I think 5 or 6 years, or that, so it's not too long. I remember when it first, he has other techniques, but this technique is very, very powerful, especially, so like if I'm also a teacher. So I can teach you how you can write a Tao calligraphy. And so when you connect with Tao calligraphy, it will come to you and help you to release your negativity, right? And so you can receive healing, life transformation. Another way is to learn how to write it. And then when you write it, it will show where your blockages is. So you literally can see, okay, oh my God, my block is here. Here I have negativity. And then you see where your blockages are, and then you can write it right. And then you can remove that blockage. So by learning how to write calligraphy, you can transform your blockages very fast. So I remember when Master Sha, when brought this technique to us, all of us was growing so much faster. Because we can see where's our blockages. Because, the issue is, why we're not transforming, because we don't know what our blockages are. We think we're very correct. Everybody thinks they're very correct. It's always other people's fault, right? It's our human nature. But if you write calligraphy, you know exactly where your blockages are. And then you can change it. So you rewrite your whole blueprint of your whole history, your whole blueprint that creates your life. And you rewrite your whole blueprint. And then you literally have a different life. I remember actually, many years ago, so actually I don't want to do science anymore. I feel like it's so much in the mind, right? And I don't want to do it. And the Master Sha said, you have to do it. You just, because I get so much educations, and, got so much support from, I need to, this, if I don't do it, it will be a little wasted. And so with calligraphy, it really removed my blockages. So I was able to do great science and still become a more powerful healer and leader and a writer and just all of that, and speaker. So I think before, when I speak, nobody understands. Nobody understands. Even my teacher don't understand. And so with all these blessings, now I think you understand me, right? And So this is all because, because this this blessing, it's you literally just change yourself. Yeah. So you want to experience this? Yeah. You want to experience? Okay. So let's experience this. So I want you to experience this calligraphy. So this calligraphy literally means enlightenment. So this is so this is the sun, this is the moon, and this moon, sun and the moon together, they become light and enlightenment. So in a Tao science, actually, we have law of creation. So when yin and yang, the opposite side, they coming together, and then they actually creates everything. And so this word is means enlightenment, light, clarity, and so how this word is formed, it really teaches you how you reach the enlightenment. So the Chinese word is really holds a code how you can reach how to reach. For example, in the first class of our Tao calligraphy, I'm teaching a class actually starting I think at 26 how you can write Tao calligraphy. The first word I'm going to teach you is greatest love. So it's two words, da ai, right? And the first word is da, is a great, and then so this word is literally teach you how you can reach to become great. So we're in a human being level, right? How can you reach the great level? Like a saint, like Jesus, like a Buddha. Yeah, how can you reach that level? That word is really teach you how to reach that. So by writing it, you're literally getting this blueprint how you can become the great. And then the I, and it is really this word, like I literally gives you the code how you can truly love in the highest way. And so this word is how you can reach the enlightenment, is you actually bring the opposite together. Yin yang together, and they become the enlightenment. So anybody have a pain or any right now experiencing any pain, we could also give you a healing. Anybody has any challenges at this moment? Yeah. So what thing you experiencing?
Okay. In my neck, I have migraines. I've had migraines for 30 years. And one of them is caused by my neck. I have degenerative discs in my neck.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of it is glare and reflected light, which is why I have the dark glasses on and so it kind of all goes together, I guess, in a way. But physically, I was told I have photophobia, but I think that's kind of receding. I've been working really a lot with this the last few years, and I've made a lot of headway, but I still get the migraines, chronic migraines.
Okay.
So it's, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, great. So we'll give you a healing, and I also give everyone Tao calligraphy field healing. So that's first, connect with this field, and so I'm going to ask the Tao calligraphy Ming, give everybody a blessing. So it kind of like what Dottie beginning said, breathe in through your nose this beautiful light, Tao calligraphy light, this vibration of enlightenment, of light. This word also means light, and it brings out all our blockages. And breathe in to our lower abdomen, this beautiful light, Tao calligraphy, and it breathes out the blockages, any blockages we have. Breathe in Um, breathe in the vibrations and breathe out. And so in this breathe, still put your focus on your lower abdomen. And then if you want, you can stand up. Okay, you can sit down and then put 5 fingers together. So that form a brush, yeah. And then we can trace and follow the stroke. Trace circle. So we can trace the circle 3 times. And really do it slow, really feel the vibration. To be able to feel the vibration. So you can just trace and really feel, and then make a wish. I forgot to ask you to make what you want to receive blessing from this. Maybe one make a wish, one organs or system or one aspect of life. Yeah, something you can relate to at this moment, can feel, and then we can keep tracing. finish it up. And if you like, can sit down, can do a little meditation. And also, we in our center we offer people weekly massage, Tao calligraphy field massage, light massage. So I give you a light massage. So focus on the area maybe. So just close the eyes, breathe into the lower abdomen, inhale. You're still in this field. So inhale this vibration into your lower abdomen. Go inside your body and feel. And so in certain areas, maybe start to have some pain or have soreness or something happening. Pay attention to those areas. Those areas basically, there's some blockages want to be released. So you just, be aware, observe, and also go in there and feel. Allow the negativity, blockages to be released. So Tao calligraphy field massage to everyone, to the area they have blockages as appropriate. And also I'm going to sing a song. We also use sound and dancing to help people to heal. We train Dao song, Dao dance healers also. So I'm a Dao song healer, so I also have you to enjoy in this one. First, enjoying the massage. You, You breathe into the lower abdomen. Feel this vibration. And also go inside your body and feel. There's any tension, or negativity comes up, just be aware, observe, and also go into those areas, feels some sensation, go in there and feel them. So basically those areas of the negativities being released, they're holding some negativities. So now with this massage, they want to be released. So you just go in there, breathing, and feel it. Allow that blockage to be released. Continue to be aware, observe, and also feel, allowing yourself to leave more of this vibration and let go of more blockages, negativities. How. Thank you. Yeah. So, anybody want to see how you feel? Dottie, how's your experience?
Very relaxing. I would just like to say we're at the end of our time, and so perhaps we could just each check out with a word of how we were feeling. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
And I would just like to say thank you so much for your presentation. So let's unmute and we'll just go around with Colleen. We'll start with you.
Bliss. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Oh, sorry.
No, I didn't know if you heard.
Bliss.
Yeah. Thank you.
Janae,
Very relaxed.
Georgina,
Peaceful.
Denny,
I'd say peaceful.
Sam,
Grateful.
Joy,
Bliss.
Sheila,
Relaxed, very relaxed.
Aliel,
Grateful.
Paul,
Relaxed.
Kristen, Billy,
Very relaxed.
Daniel,
Wordless.
and Amy.
Peaceful and relaxed.
So thank you very much. It was a wonderful evening. Appreciate it.